What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel for yet another Football Manager 22 related video. Today we are going to talk about 5 teams that I think would be very interesting for you guys to manage within Germany. We've already covered England and France, so without any further ado, let's dive into the Germans. Now, I apologize in advance for butchering any of these German names, but we are going to start things off with 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙈𝙚, I believe is how you pronounce this. I apologize incessantly if I've got this wrong, but this is one of the teams that have been promoted from the Bundesliga 2. They find themselves in the Bundesliga this season, and the reason I wanted to highlight this team is not only because I think it will be a challenge for you entering the Bundesliga. They have some pedigree. They've won the Bundesliga 3 times in the club's history, 1914, 1926 and 1929. So a long time ago, almost 100 years since they last won the Bundesliga. I really do think this is going to be an interesting opportunity for you. They've not been in the Bundesliga since the 2012-2013 season, where they were relegated. But to be honest, I think they pose a really good opportunity to kind of repeat this. If you could get the job done and win the Bundesliga before that 100-year mark, I think that would be brilliant. I love the logo. I'm going to call it a clover. I'm probably going to get butchered for it, and someone's going to say it's not a clover, Steve. This is what I'm going for. I think in terms of their history, I think they're really good. If we go and take a look at their profile, guys, this is what you can get yourself into. As you can see, they are going to be in the Bundesliga in this year's iteration of the game. They've got some very nice kits as well. I actually very much like this green one. Stadium looked decent as well. 3-star reputation, doing nice things. In terms of their facilities, let's go into general. First and foremost, let's talk about them. Year founded 1903, doing very well. Ambitious squad personality, which is great to see as well. Owner that loves the club. Finances are secure, which obviously, given the way that the Bundesliga works, if you actually move into the top level of German football, you can quite easily work your way up and sort of improve that, as we've seen with me managing Hertha Berlin this year in the Pentagon Challenge. Average ticket prices, blah blah. You've got some legends here. I'm going to be honest, this is probably a little bit ignorant on my behalf. I don't actually recognize any of these names. Sorry. But yeah, I think in terms of the club, pretty jolly good. If we go into their facilities as well, it's okay. Not the best, not the worst. But the stadium is private. They do pay rent on it, which is interesting to know. It's always something to bear in mind. Great training facilities, average corporate, good youth, 6-year sponsorship on the stadium. That may change further down the line if you are managing them, and then average academy recruitment and adequate recruitment. Words. Okay, so that is team number 1. Let's dive into team number 2. Now, where would this video be if we didn't talk about Schalke? The 7-time Bundesliga winners find themselves now in the Bundesliga 2, having been relegated last season. As I said, they've won the league title 7 times, most recently in 1958, so it has been a while since they have lifted that massive shield. They also won the Europa League in 1997, 5 times DFB Pokal Cup winners as well. But as I said, guys, relegated out of the German top flight last season. They need to bounce back, and they need to bounce back fast. If we take a look at their history, as you can see, very good. Have only been in the Bundesliga in recent times, but unfortunately find themselves in a spot of bother. If we go and take a look at their profile, as you can see, the reputation's really high. Always known for nice kits at Schalke as well. If you don't like the kits, FM Custom Kits, absolute beast, makes unreal kits. I have to give Lorenzo a little plug when I am talking about kits. Obviously, stadium is fantastic, although that head-to-head record is really irritating me that it's popped up there, and now I can't get rid of it. Amazing. That's the benefits of recording these videos for you guys. As you can see, though, relatively decent. The stadium is nice, I promise. It is stuck behind there. There we go. It is nice, as you can see from the stadium pack that I've got installed. Does look very nice. And if we go and take a quick look at their facilities and stuff, excellent training facilities, excellent youth facilities, top corporate facilities, and good academy coaching and youth recruitment as well. In terms of their generals, their general information. Obviously, they've got the rivalry with Dortmund, which is good to know. Rich in terms of finances. The owner loves the club, as they all do in the Bundesliga, I must admit, or in Germany. Again, you've got lists of players here. Again, knowledge of German football is really, really poor. Raul is listed as a favoured personnel, which is good. Benedict Howardez, that's a player I know. Is this who I think it is? No? Okay, so my knowledge of German football definitely needs some improvement moving forward. Maybe we can figure that out. But Schalke, team number 2. Now, to be honest, I wouldn't be able to talk about Schalke without talking about Werder Bremen as well. Obviously, this team are in the same boat as Schalke, relegated last season and find themselves in the Bundesliga too. The 4-time Bundesliga winners, most recently in 2004 as well. So that is very, very recent in terms of finding themselves going from winning the title to being relegated out of the top flight. It is a very, very big difference. Obviously, 6 times winners of the DFB Pokal, as you can see, most recently in 2009. This is a club with a lot of history, guys, and to be honest, they need better. They do need better. If we go into their general and we take a look at their overview, as you can see, very, very nice stadium. I believe Kevin De Bruyne played for Wolfsburg at one point. And the stadium looks, as I said, stadium looks nice. The finances are good. Let's go into their general tab. Rivals with Hamburg and Bayern Munich. The Bayern Munich one's a historic one, which is good to know. And then obviously, you know, secure finances, owner that loves the club, standard. They've got a couple players in here. Torsten Frings is one that I recognize. Claudio Pizarro, another one that I recognize. Diego, is that the Brazilian? It is the Brazilian. That is one that I recognize. And yeah, as I said, Frings is another one. I don't recognize any of these club legends, so I definitely need to swat up on my German football. But Werder Bremen, relegated out of the top flight, exactly the same as Schalke. Much more recent history of winning the Bundesliga. Can you return them to the top of German football? So guys, the 4th team on this list is FC St. Pauli, and I had to talk about them because they're such a small little club compared to some of the others that I've mentioned so far. Their fortunes are vastly different from the likes of Schalke, etc. But when they were promoted into the Bundesliga in that 2009-2010 season, I remember Football Focus doing a feature on them with their fans, and they're so passionate. Unfortunately, they did get relegated the season after, but they are in the same division as Schalke and Werder Bremen. They find themselves in the Bundesliga too. And it's such an interesting story. Their fans are crazy in a good way. Obviously, if we take a look at their profile, their kits, the brand's not my favorite, I must admit. It's not my favorite. Founded in 1910, stadium looks okay, nothing too severe, just under 30,000 capacity. Looks like in this preseason they're playing Sunderland and Forest. Why not? That's what I got to say. Why not? Obviously, they're their fans are what drives them forward, and that's why I suggested them. In terms of everything on their general page, as you can see, founded in 1910, so relatively old in terms of historical relevance. Fierce rivalry with Rostock and Hamburg again. Secure finances, chairman who loves the club. Imagine that. And then obviously the legends, the icons, and the favoured personnel. Again, no one in here that I know, which is very disappointing for me. In terms of their facilities, again, they're not bad. Nothing exceptional, nothing like Schalke. But this is much more of a challenge for me. And this is more of a personal preference. I would probably go with a team like this rather than some of the ones that I mentioned previously, because I think that the fan base is there. Being based in Hamburg is really nice. Nice stadium with standing. It's just the passion of the fans. If you've not seen it, Google the St. Pauli fans. Just do your favor and give it a Google. And finally, we have the 4-time winners of the Bundesliga that find themselves all the way in the 3rd tier of German football, and that is FC Kaiserslautern. They have had a ridiculous fall from grace. As you can see, looking at their league history, they were relegated from the Bundesliga in 2005-2006, had a couple years in the 2nd tier, then were promoted back to the top of back into the Bundesliga, the top league of Germany, in 2009-2010. The following season, very good season, finished 7th in that division, but then after that, it's just been woeful. They were relegated the season after 2011-2012. Then they kind of maintained a little bit, and then they dropped off again. And unfortunately, unfortunately were relegated to the third tier in 2017-2018, and that is where they still remain. 4 times Bundesliga winners, most recently in 1998, 2 times German Cup winners, most recently in 1996. They've won a German Super Cup in 1991. This club should not be in the third tier of the division within the country. It is just crazy, crazy scenes. As you can see, they're still a 3-star reputation team, and that stadium, and I know I've mentioned it previously, they have an almost 50,000 seater stadium in the third tier. Imagine, right, if a team in League One had a 50,000 seater stadium. It's just mad. I know Sunderland's is massive, and please guys, Sunderland fans, you're probably going to hammer me. This is a massive stadium, massive club that really shouldn't be where they are. As you can see, they've got some rivalries here. Historic rivalry with Bayern Munich. Seems like everybody in the division has this. Founded in 1900, Central Europe, obviously, and then they've got a list of legends in here and icons and favorite personnel. Again, my knowledge. Miroslav Klose, there's one I recognize. What a man! Actually looks like a good coach, and naturally, he's at Bayern Munich. In terms of their facilities, for a third tier team, guys, great training facilities, good youth facilities, adequate academy coaching, and adequate recruitment. This is a fallen giant if I've ever seen one. I know some people have done saves on this team on FM21, and they've done very well. Over to you guys. Can you do it for FM22? So that is where I'm going to leave things for today. If you have enjoyed these 5 teams to manage in Germany, please do drop a like on the video down below. And if there is anyone that I've missed, please do let me know in the comments section. But until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you on another one very soon.